So here's the deal. It's a game called Who It Says More About. I
just realized what he said.
I am going to ask you about a game that took place on Sunday in the National Football League. And you have to tell me who the result says more about. The team that won or the team that lost, and why. And the idea behind this is a little bit of a discussion on each game.
Okay.
Because I think you can, well, every game says something about both teams. So let's do the test case. Here's number one. Who does it say more about when the Jets beat the Bills this past weekend at MetLife to move to 6-3? Who's that game say more about?
I think that game says more about the Jets because the Bills, granted, probably weren't going to go 19-0 and win every game,
right,
but the Jets handled the Bills. They really controlled them. And they're not a great – I mean, they don't have that quarterback. They don't have all of that the pieces that you need. But they found a way to beat the creme de la creme of the NFL. So I say this is more about the Jets than the Bills.
You know what I like, too? They were able to move the ball and go on sustained drives.
Yeah.
Keep the Bills off the field, manage the TOP.
Frustrated the Bills.
The one thing I think it says about the Jets, they've got their man. Robert Saleh's the business. And he's got that defense playing real well. Now, the sidebar out of that game is Josh Allen with a potential UCL injury.
Yeah.
Monitor that story. You want to derail a Super Bowl drive, have your quarterback have an effed up elbow.
But, David, was that you that said that it was 4 weeks the last time he had it?
2018 rookie year, he missed 4 weeks, correct.
So it's not like a season-ending injury.
But if you try to play through it, if you tweak it, if something goes wrong, Rico, it's all
so
over.
he takes a seat until Thanksgiving Day.
Okay. Perfect. Then the Lions can win against the debilitated Josh Allen and not get a QB. All right, who does this game say more about? When the Seahawks went to Arizona and beat the Cardinals for the second time in a month. Think about it.
It says more about the Cardinals.
There it is.
It says, no, David, it does. I mean, look, the Seahawks.
Battle it out. Battle it out.
Like it or not, the Seahawks are one of the best. They're one of the hottest teams in football. We keep laughing at them because we're like, well, they can't sustain this, but it's working. But this shows to me Arizona. We've seen this every year. Come November, you find ways to lose games at home that you shouldn't lose. And this was yet another one. Hard Knocks with Arizona is going to be interesting because you're going to see what really happens in November and how they react. And when the coaches are going after each other this year in Hard Knocks, unlike the Lions thing where I think it was for the cameras, this could be real. They could be trying to actually kill each other.
David, your retort.
Yeah, because I think it says more about the Seahawks because we did laugh at them. We did say, oh, this is just a first half thing and Geno is this and Geno is that. I think they're going to win the NFC West now. And I think that game tells you they're serious about it.
No, see, I thought that everybody saw, oh, they're going to play Arizona. Yeah, that's the Seahawks. Now, if they would have beaten any other team, I probably would say, no, it's more about the Seahawks. That's same old, same old. That's Arizona going Arizona. There's nothing different this year than in previous years.
Who does it say more about when the Lions beat the Packers?
It says more about the Packers. It tells me that Green Bay has serious problems, and I think sometimes, Mike, when you have a problem, you got to hit rock bottom before you finally admit you have a problem. Yeah, you have a problem. And I think Green Bay, because now when you're hearing Aaron Rodgers talk about, but we lost to that team. Like, to Green Bay, that's the lowest of the low. We just lost to the Lions. I threw 3 red zone interceptions. What the hell is wrong with me? It's more on Green Bay. The Lions won, but they just happened to be the recipient of that victory. I don't think they actually won it.
David, who does it say more about?
No, I agree. It says more about the Packers.
All right. Who does it say more about when the Jags beat the Raiders? There's a reason I'm asking, but I want your response first.
I think this says more about the Raiders. Raiders had high hopes. Raiders they just cut another first-round pick.
Jonathan Abram.
things are falling off the rail. They went out and got Devontae Adams, and you thought that this was going to be – you thought that was going to be the final piece along with Carr. Raiders are going to be something, and they're falling apart, man. And it's – John Gruden leaves. Okay, well, maybe the new coach. No, they're just – I don't know what the Raiders are.
What it says is Josh McDaniels is not an NFL head coach.
Okay.
That, to me, is what it says. That, once again, a Belichick disciple goes somewhere, got his second chance, and is every bit the disaster he was the first go-around.
See, I don't think that the Raiders even have a plan. So maybe that is on them because, they have a lot of people on their team. They just can't win.
I think it actually says more about the Jags. They were on a 5-game losing streak. There were question marks in Jacksonville when it came to the quarterback and Doug Peterson. Winning that game, I think it says, you know what, there is something here. We can build here in Jacksonville with what we have, and they showed it. The team fought, and they played for Doug Peterson. They won.
I like this.
Who does it say more about? It's a brain game, right? Who does it say more about when the Dolphins win a shootout against the Bears 34-32?
David, I'll let you go first because I know where I'm going to go with this.
I might beat you to it. I actually think it says more about the Chicago Bears.
Okay, I'll go jump in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the Chicago Bears showed something there because the question mark was Justin Fields. Is he the quarterback of the future? Can he lead Chicago to something? We don't know if he can still lead them to something, but he showed ability in that game.
This is the exact opposite. For the Lions game, I was telling people, you don't apologize for a victory. It wasn't pretty, but you got it. This is the opposite because for the Bears, you don't want to feel good about a loss, but you should because you went out there and you battled the team toe-to-toe. Your quarterback, maybe this was his coming out party, but if I was a Chicago Bear fan, I'm feeling good about a loss, and you shouldn't.
Well, I'm also wondering, why did I trade Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith? Because if they play, I think they beat Miami. They get that one stop. Those two guys are worth one punt, and that's all it was going to take for you to beat them. Now, I'm just...
But you also got to wonder, maybe they had got to the point where neither really wanted to be there anymore.
Roquan asked for the trade, and Robert Quinn has a huge guarantee that the Bears didn't want to pay next year.
So it may be by addition, by subtraction, where those guys are now. I mean, it's like Seattle. No expectations. We could just have fun. I think the same happened with the Bears.
All right. Last one. Who does it say more about when the Bucks steal one from the Rams this past weekend?
I'll say Texas.
Rhombus.
It's to me it says more just how bad the Rams are because the Bucks are not a good team, but Brady dug deep and found that one drive to go down the field to win the game.
What were the Rams doing defensively? Can anyone explain it to me? What were you doing on the last drive? It made no sense.
No. And that's
corners back 10 yards on the receivers.
It was like you were playing prevent. But, no, you don't do that against Tom Brady.
I like Rico's analysis. No.
Okay, you could play prevent against, Bailey Zappi. You could, bait him into throwing. You can't get – Brady is just going to dink and dunk you all the way down the field. He's going to find a way to win. It tells me how bad that the Rams are.
Okay.
We kind of thought that they would be. That organization right now is a hot mess. This is a disaster.
I actually think it says more about the Buccaneers, and I think it's because of what happened after the game or after they got the game-winning score. When you see Brady hugging Leftwich, they're still in that division. And I think they were trying to get some things together, and I think when they won that game, it brought something together for them, and they're going to win that division now.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're the Rams and you just won the Super Bowl and now you can't win games. And is it? I mean, your offensive line is bad. Is it really all about because Odell's not there? Do you just go ahead and just sign this man up and say, please come save us?
Is he even ready to play?
Okay, we're good. So, little football today with a twist. Little brain power exercise.
I like this.